In a faraway land, there live two brothers. One brave and bold, the other not so much.
Woo! Courtney, will you make funny faces to entertain me? No! Never triangle face. I hate triangle face. It scares me.
Your brother is about to embark on a quest.
The evil wizard Lazar has taken my love.
You must journey with your brother to rescue his bride.
Can I sleep on it?
I'm looking at this title and wondering, how come there was never a Cheech and Chong movie called Your Highness?
Well, they had the Korskin brothers.
Yeah.
It was
But
not,
Your
wasn't that
Highness,
far.
though. You
Well,
know
I
what?
guess they, you know what, they were too high to come up with that.
Yeah, there was never a Cypress Hill album called Your Highness or anything like that. And plus, this is made by the guy who made the director of Pineapple Express. Right. There's a lot
which
of weed
was
references.
a stoner movie laid on top of a buddy like caper film.
Yes. Right.
And this is a stoner movie laid on top of. Well, did you ever see the movie of Dungeons and Dragons? It's not.
You know what? I did, man.
Yeah. Who
It's
did?
stoner humor on top of that movie specifically.
And when any reference
What?
to that movie Dungeons and Dragons sounds terrible.
Yeah, that's
Like, who the fuck saw that movie and why?
Uh-oh. I hear some dissension here.
What you might smell could be weed, or it could be some old bullshit.
jumping in with
Well,
your
there's a rating right there. Thank you.
There you go. That's strong words, sir.
Hey, I said could be.
Besides, I wasn't praising it by saying comparing it to the Dungeons and Dragons movie. I don't know. Maybe there was some confusion.
Wow,
here.
man,
If
you
I
know
made
what?
To praise it, I would have said a stoner movie on top of Lord of the Rings, which it is not. No, it is a stoner movie on top of a really terrible B fantasy film like Dungeons and Dragons, which is the least of its problems.
Can I tell you something? This just goes to show you how evil the spoiler is, how not in control of his evil he is. He spoiled his own rating, right?
Hey, man,
He couldn't wait.
There's sometimes where it's just not worth tap dancing around.
If you ever read a book, I'd tell people, man, don't read the last couple pages unless you want to know how it starts.
It's almost like you have a super villain like, oh, you kill my son, I'll kill my own son, so you got nothing over me. I'll spoil my own rating to show you how evil I am.
What we've got here is, what's the name of the director? I'm sorry.
David Gordon Green.
Yeah, David Gordon Green.
Wow, how appropriate for like another, stoner.
I know, right? Another Green.
Yeah, well, it's three names like a serial killer.
I want to smoke them.
Taking a script by what's his name?
Danny McBride.
Danny McBride. I guess this is the first one. He was really seems like he was taking the forefront
he's
of
producer
as a writer.
and he's the co-writer on
And
the script.
clearly the star of the
Yeah.
film. Like he is the main star, and he here plays the lesser brother, the younger prince.
Yeah, somehow he's younger than James Franco.
What?
in this
Yeah.
movie.
What?
Yeah, James Franco is
Just
the
go
older
with it.
brother.
Yeah.
If
Just
you
go
can buy
with
that,
it.
just go
So we
with
have
it.
two princes here, and I'm guessing that James Franco is the more handsome prince.
Yeah,
James-
He's the firstborn who's in line for the throne. He's the more
heroic
handsome.
one.
He's heroic. He has a band of men. They go out on quests. They come back. I mean, he comes back with the Cyclops head in the bag.
Yeah.
It is a fantasy movie, Corey.
Yeah, and a woman to marry, and a virgin to marry.
and Danny McBride's the fuck up.
Yeah,
He's the fuck up.
And to be fair, like he's supposed to be younger, but he is the one who parties all the time. So that'll age you. I'm just saying.
Especially medieval times, man. Yeah.
Especially medieval times.
He's
A lot of
certainly the
hardcore
least
partying.
mature. How about
Yeah.
that?
Unlike what I expect from a film like this, and this is one of the things I actually give this film that I liked about it, was that you expect James Franco character to be just an egocentric dick, because everyone loves him, the girls love him, he can't do anything is wrong, his dad is like, you're great, but no, he actually really loves his brother. He's genuinely a super noble, heroic, nice guy.
And naive.
And, well, yeah, a bit on the naive
Translates
side, but
stupid.
not so naive that he's not good at killing a bunch of shit
Sure.
in Dungeons and Dragons world. But he ends up on a quest coming back with Zooey Deschanel as his princess, who he rescued from a tower that was being held from an evil wizard
who wants to have sex with her so he can create a dragon that he can control.
It's like all evil wizards.
Yeah, that's what you do with a girl.
Yeah, even the movie is like, yeah, you know what, whatever. With that element of it,
The
they're
movie
like,
is like that with a lot of things.
yeah, it's like
whatever.
We know it's stupid. Don't worry yourself.
You
too
had
much
to write a
about it.
comedy about something.
There had to be a plot, not just two
Yeah.
guys smoking a bong in like the forest with some trolls. Or it wouldn't be much of a movie.
Whatever you did.
Pineapple Express Part 2.
Like while I was saying, it can't be just a movie with two guys smoking a bong. There was one other writer, and they're going like, well, why can't it be?
I know. The problem is that writer was the one who contributed nothing but the word motherfucker and jokes about penises, which is 90% of the humor here, as these two guys, when after the wizard reclaims kills the princess and takes her back to his evil castle. The two guys are the two brothers.
The two princes.
Yeah, have to go out and on a quest to to basically save her again. Basically, because they told the ne'er-do-well brother Danny McBride, if you don't go on this quest, you're disinherited like Arthur.
Yeah.
You've got to go. And he's all like,
By the way, did they use that's not correct, right? They didn't say motherfucker back then. I believe it was ye motherfucker.
Ask Leon. I don't know.
Thou art a motherfucker, Cyrus, for saying such things. I throw this elixir in your face.
You know what?
I have to believe that they said it back then because they said it in the movie about 1,200 times.
Historically speaking, I don't think you should look at the film in that context. Yeah. It's like they use every modern expression and cuss word just added with a thy or thou on top of it to make it seem like, oh, those things don't go together and it's funny.
There's some nerd out there really pissed off right now.
That particular joke of it being, oh, it's medieval, yet we're going to say motherfucker, or I don't give a shit, or I'm going to jack off. That's the joke.
Yeah.
And that's the joke that is repeated.
So this sounds like a pretty
every 2 minutes for an hour and 40 minutes.
So it sounds like an excuse. Like it's you got two bumbling brothers who go off and get into a bunch of goofy adventures, which gives them an excuse to do a bunch of crass jokes and talk nasty.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah.
Well, that's the review.
Let's go ahead and give our ratings then.
Damn, he summed it up. I don't know what else.
I mean, you look at the trailer, you can tell it's that kind of
There
comedy.
is something else. Natalie Portman, who appears in this film maybe about the halfway point.
Almost way after that.
I think it feels about
Really?
the halfway
Yeah, what's her
point.
role in
Well,
this
the
movie?
thing is like she's this random person who they meet on the road who in fact they meet after they're captured by some warrior tribe or something in some really stupid sequence who helps them out.
Put in sorcery cliche that it comes to mind.
Yeah,
Whatever, just throw it
exactly.
in.
Who is like this total badass, and it turns out she's descended from these knights who are destined to be the ones to help defeat the wizard. Yada yada. Don't worry about it, that sort of thing.
Yeah,
but the point is that Danny McBride wants to fuck her. She obviously wants nothing to do with Danny McBride.
Danny
because he's a big
McBride's not the
loser.
only one.
And when you see her in the film, sure enough, she is
Amazingly,
really
in this
hot.
movie, he is.
In the movie, he is.
Yeah.
No, hardly anyone else. I don't think anyone else even comments
no.
at all that she is by far the hottest thing going in this film.
You say she's got a? Don't she have like a thong on in this
Okay,
movie?
don't get too excited. There is one scene when she's about to dive into the water, and you see her from the side taking off her clothes. They cut away. She turns around. She's got on a thong. It's a nice ass shot.
Yeah.
But it's like if you blink, if
It's
you reach
gone.
into your popcorn to go grab another handful, you will miss it.
Are you
And
serious?
showing it again.
Okay, because the biggest thing about this movie, the
I know.
only reason why I know about this movie is because of Natalie Portman's ass.
I know.
They should put that on the poster and that alone because
I
that is
know.
the only
I
reason
know.
why
I
anybody
know.
is
Just
even
go-
remotely
that
talking
is the
about
one
this.
thing, as I'm
it's on
sitting
the
through this
internet.
movie-
It's everything. Yeah,
No.
It's all
Black
it's
Swan's
about
on
is
Blu-ray
Natalie Portman's
now.
ass.
Just watch her eat out Mila Kunis again, and or the other way around, and you'll be much happier.
As I was sitting there suffering through this movie, because I came in with a good attitude, and I love Danny McBride. And I'm like, okay, I'm getting with the humor. I'm waiting for it to start taking off on its own. And just, it comes that point where I realize, fuck, it's not going to. What it's doing now is what it's going to continue to do. But I'm still holding on because there's the Natalie Portman shot coming
It
up.
stumbles around like two older guys who are trying to remember what it used to be like to be 15-year-old boys.
Yeah.
And to write a script meant for no one but 15-year-old boys, because that's really what it is. I mean, sure, there are some moments that I genuinely did laugh. I mean, I know you didn't.
Yeah,
but
I
there
didn't get one
but,
single
and part of
laugh.
it is because I did kind of come from that whole, stoner culture at one point in my life, and there's some jokes that are so particular to that culture that they took me by surprise. I was like, okay, I didn't see that coming, actually. I thought that was
Incorporating the
kinda
whole
funny.
geeky aspect of it.
No, not really.
Yeah.
Not really. Just I mean, the fact that the one thing that Danny McBride is probably better at than his brother James Franco is he knows how to party. So he's like giving his brother shit at one scene for not being able to hold his smoke. But then there's scenes like that I thought started off funny, but then turn into a pedophilia joke that is so not funny at all, and not in an offensive way, just in a ew.
It's that, it's a lot of that. It's like they go for the cheap laugh every time. It's not, they don't, there's never a time when they don't go for the cheap laugh. And the cheap laugh is never funny. It's like,
Are they doing it every minute? Like,
Yes.
if one joke doesn't work, they jump on something else and that fails, and then they jump on something. It's like they keep throwing things out there at you.
They aren't even like gags that have any work put into them. It's just the line. It's just somebody to just
The throwaway lines.
Yeah, it's just somebody just to say motherfucker. Like them. The fact that they said this and it's anachronistic. That's the joke itself. And just when you think like somebody you might set up a weak joke, but then follow it with a good joke, they just cut to a new scene.
No, I felt like some of the gags, a little more setup, actually did kind of sell. Not totally, but enough where I was like, okay, I'm not bored. I'm not bored. I'm entertained enough to keep watching this, but certainly not enough to be excited about it. I mean, there's that point about 20 minutes in that you do kind of give up. You're just like, okay, I had a little bit of hope for this at first. There were a few funny jokes right out of the starting gate.
Yeah, right in the beginning.
And you know, the first time you hear them to use the, you know, motherfucker inappropriately, you're like, ah.
Yeah.
And then they just won't stop doing it. And you're like, okay, this wasn't only funny once. It's that joke that only works once. So they just don't understand that. And like I said, the same thing with the penis. Like any chance they get to talk about a penis, to show a penis, to describe what a penis does in detail, they are all over that shit.
You know what this sounds like? This sounds like going to a Renaissance fair and everybody's fucked up and stoned and just annoying.
But you know, that sounds funnier.
Is that like a Renaissance fair?
That sounds a whole lot funnier.
A Connecticut redneck in King Arthur's court is basically what it is. I mean, okay, if I were to say like two positive things, there is a scene with a lot of naked chicks. And they're all really hot, even though they're covered in white mud.
Yeah.
But I was like,
Again,
all right.
sounds like a Renaissance fair. Oh, no hot chicks there.
No, not hot chicks. I say fat chicks in corsets.
yeah, sorry.
The problem is, I
turkey
felt
leg.
sorry for the actor in that scene playing kind of the villain who's surrounded by these girls, because I couldn't
And
tell
that's
you
Justin Theroux who plays the villain in this movie, right?
Yeah, but I'm talking about in this one
this
scene,
one
it's
scene,
a totally
it's a
different
villain in
guy,
this one scene.
and I don't even remember what he looks like.
I know.
Because there's not a shot with him that doesn't have boobies all around him.
And they're
you're
nice.
they're nice boobies.
Yeah.
I was like, sorry, dude, you picked the wrong scene to cameo in. I don't even know who you are. That could have been Jack Black for all I know. I don't have a clue who that guy was.
And what character does Natalie Portman play in this? Because listen, you
Her
know,
name
when I saw this, I was like, you know, the really big thing that makes me think that this is going to be terrible is that this is going to be Natalie Portman's Norbit. You know, she went and got nominated and won, actually, so she got more than Eddie Murphy. But, you know, it's that curse of, like, somebody who wins a big award, and then right after they come out with a piece of shit, and probably because they didn't even know they're going to be nominated for something.
Oh, no, it happens all the time. The difference between this and Norbit is that Eddie Murphy wrote Norbit, and he produced Norbit, and he acted in several roles in Norbit. So Norbit ain't nobody's fault but his. It's all his.
Full responsibility.
And Natalie Portman is just a poor victim
Natalie
here.
Portman comes in halfway through. She's the best thing in the movie.
What character does she play?
Isabel. Her family was killed. Her village was wiped out by Justin Theroux, the evil wizard. So she's on a kick for revenge, and she's a badass fighter.
Yeah.
Now, does she attempt to be funny at all in this movie? Because that was the other thing. I was like, is this Natalie Portman trying to be funny with it?
She holds her accent. She showed up. She does everything she's supposed to do. She's like Scotty's nephew in Wrath of Khan, who ends up getting killed because he's trying to shut down the reactor. He stayed by his post.
What exactly is your problem? You cannot even enjoy yourself for one moment.
My quest affords me no such luxury.
Not even on a tender night like this. The moon's glimmering.
On a night just like this, I return home from a hunt to find a bloodbath. Nothing remained of my 6 beloved brothers. I wear this bracelet, forged of the steel of their shields, as a constant reminder of my vow to avenge them.
My only advice would just be to keep your head up. Hang in there. Live every day to the fullest. Have sex as much as you can by campfire when you're all alone and your brother is out gathering wood. Just simple things like that.
It's more than a workmanlike performance. I mean, she actually is giving it her all where you're
really
enjoying watching her.
Yeah.
And not just because she's hot. You're like, wow, you're really into this, aren't you?
And James DeFranco, did he put some more? Did he put a little bit of effort more than he did the award show?
He's just being,
I mean, he's not completely blowing it off.
Yeah.
But
he's not taking it that seriously.
He's taking it more seriously than I would have thought he would have, but not fully to the hilt. And it's just with some of the lines he has to deliver, there's no way he could have.
Well, at first he is playing the straight man to Danny McBride, and they quickly just get bored of that.
Yeah.
And they give him a couple fuck lines,
Yeah.
and they make him a little more like, well, you know, I guess.
Because that's
And
how
then
it always
when
looks.
Natalie Portman comes in, it's like, okay, well, he's just another doofus now.
Because
so.
I hate it when they do that. Because you could tell, like with James Franco, he's like, you know what? I don't really want to play the straight man. He's getting all the laughs. I'm just kind of here hanging out. I mean, can I do something a little bit more? Because that's kind of what looking at the trailers. That kind of it seems like it would progress in that, which
Like-
I tend to hate sometimes.
Well, the odd things is that it's bloody to the point that I was like, why shouldn't this be marketed like towards younger folks on some level? I mean, you can get away with penis jokes if they're not really offensive, and most of these aren't. There's a few moments where they're like describing in detail like coming on a woman's chest or something. You're like, wow, okay. There's these moments like that. If you cut out, you could have made this movie just PG, and you would have made a lot more money.
Or PG-13.
Well, that's the audience it should have been for.
Yeah.
But they fucked themselves. I mean, like, there's actually some pretty goddamn gory shit in here. I was like, wow, that's
true. But that's the other thing about this movie. I'm looking at for a movie that's pretty much just ye motherfucker the movie. It's like there's
that's it.
That's it exactly.
But I'm looking at it, I'm like, wow, for a movie that's rated R like this, there are a lot of big budget special effects. So it looks like
the effects aren't bad at all.
That was one of the things that got me watching it. I'm like, man, for a movie that's so lazy in the writing, they spent a lot of money just building these sets and shooting on location and doing all this. It's like, why?
They forgot to write the jokes.
yeah. When it came time for that, it was like, we don't have money for jokes.
Sorry,
not the
spent that budget.
Certainly not the first Hollywood film that like absconded with the script in order to be able to spend the money on special effects. I mean, God knows that's how Michael Bay's career got started.
I mean, they do.
But his movies are funny, though.
Unintentionally. So. Yeah, they do shit like they go visit the wise old wizard who's sort of like a Yoda character. And just because, hey, there's nothing else to do here, let's make him a pedophile.
Yeah.
Because that was the one reason why I actually wanted to go see that, because it's the only thing in the trailer that made me laugh, which is that little puppet. Yeah, that crazy looking puppet.
James Franco's character is such a hero, but then they kind of make it reveal where this character, the wizard character is kind of a pedophile. He's been molesting James Franco's character, probably since he was a child, and he's played off for laughs. And just make James Franco's character, okay, well, he seems like he's so cool, but he's kind of stupid that he fell for this. They have a Minotaur in it. It comes out of nowhere. It's actually pretty cool. Like when it first comes on, I was like, damn, I gotta respect this.
That's a badass looking
Minotaur.
Yeah.
But then what they do with it later is just so like, you know what? You just ruined it. Never mind.
Totally ruined that joke.
Yeah,
because you were going, wow, this is actually interesting. I like where this is going. And then, like, sure enough, it's another dick joke.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Okay. I listening to you guys, I thought like, between the two of you, like this would be exciting, but but in between the trailer, it's like, I didn't know what to expect. But because when y'all came out the movie, y'all were just so rejected. I mean, both of them just kind of like, fuck, man.
He hated it. I was just like, well, it's certainly not good, but I didn't hate it. I'm like you are with most movies, Corey.
Yes. Yes, I've gone from Captain Matinee to
Captain Rental.
Sir Wishy-Washy.
Captain High Rental.
I mean, you know what? I didn't get up and walk out, but I did think about it.
Yeah.
Because it was just like, I was like, okay, I've seen everything this movie's going to do. I know it's not going to do. It's going to keep doing the same thing, repeating the same thing over and over. Okay, Natalie Portman's here, and she does make it better, but she's not enough.
Yeah, I think it's just so hilarious that you guys were like really. I mean, before we were trying to decide, like there were two movies tonight, which was Arthur, and Your Highness, and how you guys are like, fuck Arthur, I'm going to see this. This is the movie I'm going to see. I have to see it. I want to see it.
I didn't say that.
And well, somebody did.
Well, no, Coach, you're right. You're right. Yeah. I told the rep when it was time to RSVP for the two movies. I said, I'll go see Your Highness. Fuck Arthur. And what it comes down to is, I realized I was in a no-win situation. I mean, I was in that Chinese proverb where
Kobayashi Maru.
The lion at the bottom of the cliff and a tiger on top, and you just got to pick the strawberry and enjoy it. It's just one of those things where I'm like, look, bottom line is, I can't stand Russell Brand. So
that was the deciding factor.
Yeah, I was like, I know I'm going to lose on Arthur.
Okay.
I'm going to roll the dice on this one, even though it looks just
You're going to roll dice on the D&D movie?
maybe I mistook.
And I didn't make my saving throw.
No, you
like
did not.
I think I just mistook that for enthusiasm. I was like,
No.
you guys must be really like looking forward to seeing this movie or something.
No.
I was never there either. It looked like the lesser of two evils, to be sure, but I'm not so sure anymore.
I was like, if I had a gun to your head, Leon, I said, okay, so where do you want it? Your head or your head?
Pretty much.
The only two choices you got. The only thing I can say is going to be quick.
The right side of the head or the left side?
I can shoot you.
When I shoot you, it's going to be quick, and that's going to be like more merciful than you're going to see either one of his movies.
I can shoot you right nut or your left nut. Which one? But choose wisely.
Co-host that's worse somehow.
Yeah, he's got.
He chose unwisely.
So I guess, needless to say, some old bullshit like you said.
Oh, did I give this some old bullshit?
Yeah, you started with that.
Yeah, some old bullshit.
I can't go that far. I really can't, because I didn't hate it. In fact, there was no moment that it was making me angry. At worst, it was making me bored with how tedious it is to see the same type of humor over and over again. But you know what? At least once every 15 minutes, there'd be something that would actually make me laugh, or go, okay, that's nothing I would never laugh at a second time, but okay, it's all right. And I like the fact that it had good effects. Pretty much its pacing is nonstop. It never stops moving. So there's not points where you're like, there's not points where you're like, God damn it, will they just stop sitting around and talking and get on with the story? It's pretty much moving constantly. So I'm going to give it a generous low rental.
Damn, wow, you gave it a Christmas present with that.
I did, I know.
He looked at Cyrus and said, shit, Riddle, who'd you suggest rent this shit? He was mad.
Like, well, sitting over there like, well, some people should rent this, and whenever you say that, like, well, it's a movie for some audiences. Sorry, it's quick to go like, what are audiences, Corey? You're supposed to review it for you.
Yeah, I'm sure right now,
I would have rented this. I would have rented this. I would anyway, because it's got D&D shit, and I'm going to do it.
You turn this off if you rented it. You know it.
Mom and Dad, stop fighting.
Send it back to Netflix with an angry letter.
I love it. It ain't over yet, motherfucker.
Now, if you were high when you watched it, though, that might actually make the difference. I'm just saying, dick jokes are much funnier when you're so stoned you can't think straight.
Oh, yeah.
Especially his own dick.
I can just stare at that. I can stare at that shit for hours.
Hello.
It's so beautiful.
Now you just creep me in.
Wow, man. Between all the motherfuckers, all the pedophilia jokes, all the childish humor and all that kind of shit, I think I'd just rather drop off a bunch of swords and medieval costumes at a trailer park and just watch that go crazy.
Well, wouldn't everyone rather see that?
Yeah, I was going to say.
That sounds like it
would be more entertaining.
That sounds like a great idea.
Give him a six-pack and just watch him go at it.
You better watch out. You might have the stuff for a reality show going on right there. I think you got something, Coleman.
Why would anyone want to be with you?
I'm not sure, really. Oh, yeah. Perhaps because I'm rich, I live in a castle, and I can do magic. What the?
You've got to suck out the venom! I don't want to suck it, you suck it! I can't reach you with my mouth! Courtney, suck the venom!
I've never sucked venom!
Suck it!
Nice.
Whenever you maidens are ready.